My parents gave me $5,000 in the video. Roll credits. No, I'm kidding. I worked to get this money. Is how it got in here. And I'll give you a little info on the $5,000. More on that later on how I got $5,000 in there. First, I want to go through my stock portfolio. Oh, disclaimer: I'm not a financial advisor. These are all just opinion based in what I have, what I think. Clearly, opinions do not take any financial decisions on what I say. I'm just showing everyone this because I think I like investing. I think it's cool. I have 30% in the S&P 500 index. It's $1,600 now. I put $30. $30 in there today. Total return is $100 right here, and then I have 4.34 shares, and it's now 31% of my portfolio, as it keeps going up and up and up despite current economic conditions. It is insane. It is actually ridiculous. And then I have 10 shares in BOFA, Bank of America, of course. BOFA these nuts. Sorry. And I think Bank of America is pretty solid. I have the bank. It's better than Wells Fargo, and if you're better than Wells Fargo, you got room for growth. Plus, the regulations are a lot less stringent than Wells Fargo. And at the time I bought it, the stock was undervalued, so I went ahead and bought some of it. Then I have AJX. It was undervalued, meaning that what the company was worth was less than its market value. So the company was worth more on paper, their assets plus, revenues, but mainly their assets minus liabilities. The company was worth more, assets minus liabilities wise, than it was valued on the stock market. So I bought some, and it's not doing too well. That's fine. That happens. You mainly just gotta wait for these things to play out. It'll go back up. It's only a matter of time. And then we have General Electric. GE. Yeah. It was undervalued. Bought it at $8. Probably should have bought more. I think I just bought this one to keep an eye on it. Then we have, if I don't understand it that much, I don't buy a lot of it. Then we have AT&T. It was undervalued. Average cost is $29.42. This is going to take a while to go back up once the economy actually recovers. And then we have RC, Ready Capital Corporation. They're a real estate finance company. They were undervalued. And then Wells Fargo, they were undervalued. I thought, how low can they go? And I bought some. This is more of a luck thing. I looked at the balance sheet. I thought it was alright. I thought it was pretty good. But yeah, it was mainly a case of there's no way they can go any lower. And it turns out I was right. But I think that was more of a luck standpoint than really knowing if it was a good buy or not. Then we have Air Lease, which I thought was a good buy, because the company's going to get money even if airlines are not flying their planes, because they're leasing out the planes. You can't just break away from a lease if you are not making money from that plane. It doesn't work. So even if they're not flying the planes, this company will still get paid. So I thought it would be an excellent buy since their revenue was pretty much unaffected. Now, if this is long term, if this starts affecting them for 2 or 3 more years, then you'll probably see a dip in the stock price. PMT, PennyMac Mortgage Investment Trust. I bought that to keep a eye on it, and it was undervalued. Book price was more than the stock price. Book price was more than the stock price on this as well. Book price was more than the stock price on this, so I bought it as well. I bought this to keep an eye on it. Now this, I want to talk about this. This is what happens when you think you know what you're doing, but I did not. So I looked at the book price, and I was like, "Oh, it's below the stock price," but it wasn't, because I said I think like 30 or 40% of the shares in the market, the overall market, not just the stock market, were owned by the company, and I did not factor that in. So actually, this when I bought it, the stock price was higher than the book price, and I thought it was lower because I did not factor that in. So that this is what happened. Negative 32%. That's what happens when you think you know what you're doing. When I did not know. I had no clue. And then AliExpress, I think, is a solid company. They've been around for a while, and they're starting to focus a lot more on online banking, which I think is very much needed. It's bound to go that way. Bank of America is also focusing on that, but not as much as AliExpress. Sorry. Ali Financial. Sorry. I'm so sorry. Yeah, so I thought it was a great buy, and it paid off. I mean, their core business model is fantastic. And then we have Pinterest. Yeah, I'm not buying much of this because I don't understand it that much. I know a little bit about it, but I don't know the inner workings. It's like I think finding out how a company works is like finding out how an engine works. And to make that example is, if Pinterest was an engine, I know about how many cylinders it has and where the spark plugs are. That's about as much as I know. Whereas as a company like let's take a look here. Ali Financial, I know exactly how many cylinders, spark plugs, what fuel is needed, the size of the engine, what car it should go in. I know a bit more, but I do not in any way know how the engine works. So yeah, that's my entire portfolio, and rip this call buy right here. This was a gamble. Only spent $30 on it, so it's whatever. And how did I invest this much at such a young, ripe age of 20 years old? Well, I sell storage units. What I do for a living is I buy storage units, storage auctions, and then I sell the contents. And I can generally make about $3,000 to $5,000 a month, but it's usually going to be $3,000 to $4,000. Now, if I get lucky, it will be $5,000, maybe more, to a reasonable extent. There's no way I'm buying a unit where I make $10,000 on that unit unless I spend $2,000 on that unit. It's just not going to happen. So, to a reasonable extent, I can make a bit more per month or a bit less. So, but the average is $3,000 to $4,000 a month. Revenue rise, and then expenses. My total expenses are right around $1,500. Rent, electricity, food, trash pickup, water, and car payment, and then storage unit payment. I have a storage unit. I put most of the big stuff in, and then I use my second bedroom as a sort of a thrift shop storage place. There's a bunch of shelves in there. So my monthly expenses is right around $1,500. And as you can see, I do not need much food at all. So my food bill is barely anything. I'm a skinny dude. I don't need to eat much. And I put basically how I did this is I just put $240 in a month. You know, some months I do a lot better with the storage units, so I could put a little bit more in. Some months I put in 1,000. Other months it's just 250. I mean 240. But no matter how good I do, I always put in 240. I just imagine it's a bill that I have to pay, and I pay it every month, no matter what. 240 in every month. And I started doing this back in March, and since then it's grown to $5,000 at the ripe old age of 20. And you're probably wondering, how can you start? Well, I will tell you. Just put in $240 a month. That's pretty much it. Cut back on some things if you need to. I don't know how you run your life, so you're the best person to make that decision. I will not make suggestions on it because I do not know your life. But see where you can cut back, see where you can possibly make some more money, and then put $240 in a month. And be patient. Be patient, because it will get to this point. Just be patient. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked that video, make sure you like it. Comment down below if you have any questions or anything, or just want to say hi. Make sure you subscribe if you like my content. I usually upload storage auction videos, but when I'm not buying storage auctions or going through it, I just upload what I think would be interesting to me and to other people. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.